Dr. No. Main cast: Sean Connery as James Bond, Ursula Andress as Honey Rider, Joseph Wiseman as Dr. Julius No, Jack Lord as Felix Slider, Bernard Lee as M, John Kitzmiller as Quarrel, Anthony Dawson as Professor R.J. Dent, Zena Marshall as Miss Tarot, Eunice Gayson as Sylvia Trench, Lois Maxwell as Miss Moneypenny, Peter Berton as Major Boothroyd, Reginald Carter as Mr. Jones, Yvonne Shima as Sister Lily, Michelle Mock as Sister Rose, Margarita Wars as Annabelle Chung, Louis Blazer as Pledell Smith, Timothy Moxon as John Strangways, and many others for supporting roles. About the movie in brief. Dr. No is a 1962 spy film directed by Terence Young. It was based on the 1958 novel of the same name by Ian Fleming. It is the first film in the James Bond series, and was adapted by Richard Maybaum, Johanna Harwood, and Berkeley Mather. The film was produced by Harry Saltzman and Albert R. Broccoli. In this film, James Bond is sent to Jamaica to investigate the disappearance of a fellow British agent. The trail leads him to the underground base of Dr. No, who is plotting to disrupt an early American space launch from Cape Canaveral with a radio beam weapon. Produced on a low budget, Dr. No was a financial success. While the film received a mixed critical reaction upon release, it has gained a reputation over time as one of the series' best installments. Dr. No also launched a genre of secret agent films that flourished in the 1960s. Many aspects of a typical James Bond film were established in Dr. No. The film begins with an introduction to the character through the view of a gun barrel and a highly stylized main title sequence, both of which were created by Morris Binder. 3. It also introduced the iconic theme music. Production designer Ken Adam established an elaborate visual style that is one of the hallmarks of the film series. The story. John Strangways, the station chief of MI6 in Jamaica, is murdered, along with his secretary, by a trio of assassins before his home is ransacked. When news of Strangways' death reaches M, the head of MI6, he assigns intelligence officer James Bond to investigate the matter, and determine if it is related to Strangways' cooperation with the CIA on a case involving the disruption of rocket launches from Cape Canaveral by radio jamming. When Bond arrives in Jamaica, he is accosted by a man claiming to be a chauffeur sent to collect him, but is really an enemy agent sent to kill him. Before Bond can interrogate him, the agent kills himself by biting into a cyanide-laced cigarette. After visiting Strangways' house, Bond confronts a boatman with whom Strangways was acquainted. The boatman, named Quarrel, reveals that he is aiding the CIA and introduces Bond to their agent Felix Slider, who is also investigating Strangways' death. Bond learns from Felix that the CIA traced the radio jamming signal to Jamaica, and that Strangways was helping to pinpoint its exact origin. Quarrel reveals that before Strangways died, the pair collected mineral samples from an island called Crab Key, where people are forbidden to go. Upon finding a receipt from a local geologist, Professor R.J. Dent, Bond makes inquiries with him about the samples and Crab Key, but is suspicious of his answers when he claims the samples checked out as normal. Following the meeting, Dent travels to Crab Key to meet its reclusive owner, for whom he works, to inform him of Bond's visit. Under strict instructions, Dent attempts to have Bond killed with the tarantula. However, Bond kills the spider and sets a trap for Dent. When the geologist arrives, Bond holds him at gunpoint, revealing that he believed Dent was asked to check Strangways' samples to see if they were radioactive, before killing him. After checking Quarrel's boat with a Geiger counter, Bond determines that Strangways must have suspected that the radio jamming was coming from Crab Key, and so convinces Quarrel to take him out there. The following day, after arriving, Bond meets Honey Rider, a shell diver. When armed guards arrive in a boat, Bond and Quarrel take Rider with them and escape into the swamp. At nightfall, the group encounter a flamethrower-equipped tank disguised as a dragon to deter locals, which kills Quarrel. Bond and Rider are captured and taken to a hidden base, whereupon they are swiftly put into decontamination due to the swamp being contaminated with radiation. After being led to private quarters set up for them, they are rendered unconscious with drugged coffee. Upon awakening, the pair are escorted to dine with the base's owner, Dr. Number, a Chinese-German criminal scientist who has prosthetic metal hands due to radiation exposure. Bond learns that Dr. No was a former member of a Chinese crime organization Tong, until he stole $10 million in gold, and now works for the secret organization Spectre, Special Executive for Counterintelligence, Terrorism, Revenge, and Extortion. The radio jamming being conducted by Dr. No is being planned to disrupt the Project Mercury space launch at Cape Canaveral using a radio beam, which he states will be a demonstration of Spectre's power. When Bond refuses to join Spectre, Dr. No has Ryder taken away and Bond imprisoned. However, Bond manages to escape his cell through an air vent and disguises himself as a worker, before infiltrating the base's control center. Bond discovers that the radio beam being prepared to disrupt the launch is powered by a nuclear pool reactor, and overloads it as the launch commences. Dr. No attempts to stop him, but falls into the reactor pool and is boiled alive. As the base's personnel evacuate, Bond frees Ryder before the two escape the island by boat, moments before the base is destroyed. Felix finds the pair adrift at sea after their boat runs out of fuel, and has them towed to safety by a Royal Navy ship. However, as Ryder passionately kisses him, Bond lets go of the tow rope to embrace her. This is a nice movie. Watch the movie and enjoy.